I was recently asked to do a few yoga movements that are helpful in the pre and postnatal person that you could use either way for when you're pregnant or right after having the baby and you feel like you just need some movement. Okay, so rule number one, of course, is to move in the flow of where your body is today, to not force things, to not compare yourself and try to push yourself past where you are today, but to ease yourself into where you feel empowered today. So anything that I do today that doesn't feel right, go into something that does feel right, or take a break, and go to a level that feels like you are strengthening and empowering yourself, not that you're pushing yourself, okay? So place your feet right underneath your hip bones, and usually that means that there's this much space in between your knees. Big toe is pointed forward. Lift your arches out of the floor, and all four corners of the foot are down. So that means both sides of the ball of the foot and both sides of the heel of the foot are down on the ground. Press down through the back right here. So press down right here just to lengthen your lower back. We're not doing a super tuck. We're just lengthening the lower back, which also lengthens the front body and zips it up to hug and hold our core section up and in. That might be the most important part of the practice right there. The second most important part of the practice is where your shoulders live. So where your shoulders should live is in the shoulder girdle, which is back here. Many of us have lost the shoulder girdle and our shoulder is here. That's going to impact everything that you do today. So try to get the shoulder back and down into the shoulder girdle. Then press up through the back top of the head, which makes the back of your neck nice and long. So now we've elongated the spine on the top and the bottom. We've zipped up through the front body. Now we're breathing and inflating our lungs and exhaling to keep all the muscles knitted in and holding our core up and in. So if you are pregnant, you're imagining that you're just sort of hugging and holding the baby in. And if you're postpartum, you're repairing and recovering these muscles. So you're imagining that you're just able to hold the muscles together with this hammock that lives right here. Just holding it, not squeezing it, not vacuuming it, no crazy stuff. Okay, just a nice, easy hold there while you breathe into your lungs, which live under your ribs. Okay, adding on from there, breathe and reach the arms up. Press your shoulders down as you do that. Exhale down. Go into mountain pose. Palms forward. Breathe and reach up. Exhale down. So in all of this, you're lengthening the arm and pressing the shoulder down. You're not letting the shoulder come up by your ears. That adds stress. We want to relieve the stress off the neck and the top of the body. Breathe and reach. Exhale down. Now this time we're going to add a fold. Breathe and reach up. Exhale, fold your body, put your hands on your thighs. Okay, so in your fold, you're pressing out through the back top of your head and back through your hip bones, back here. So we're not compromising the back position. The back is neutral. The shoulders are still back in that shoulder girdle. You're still zipped up in the front body. You're still lengthening the back body. Breathe and reach up. Exhale, do that half fold. Breathe and reach up. Exhale, do that half fold. Now, as we breathe into this, you might notice that you can go a little more length through the back of your legs. So yes, you can do that. You can lengthen the back of the legs and the hips. What I don't want you to do is compromise that neutral spine. Breathe and exhale. Breathe. Exhale, stay in your fold right here. Okay, now we are going to release the back carefully. So release that lower back. Let it fold in. Then release the upper back. Let it fold closer to the legs. Hands can move, but don't drop your shoulders. Shoulders stay down and back. Breathe into that and just fold. Pull the belly up and in. Now, depending on how pregnant you are, if you are pregnant, you might still be up here, and that's okay. And then soften the knees. Put the hands down and the knees down. And depending on how pregnant you are or where you are in your journey, that might entail using some furniture around the house or a wall to help you get down to the hands and knees. Take your time, okay? Now, once you get down on your hands and knees, you're still in that long, straight, neutral spine. So take your hands, put them underneath your shoulders. Make sure that your knees are underneath your hip bones. Make your neck nice and long. Squeeze your armpits towards your ribs, which feels kind of weird at first, but it keeps your shoulder strong. So instead of here, squeeze those shoulders into your armpits, press up out of the shoulder joint, and tuck your tailbone more than you think you need to. So we're not doing a cat stretch right now, but we've tucked the tailbone enough to where we feel, again, that front body sort of hug our core in. Okay? Now, from this all fours position, we're just going to move forward and back. So back toward the heels and up over the hands. Back toward the heels and up over the hands. And we're not changing our neutral spine. Depending on where you are in your journey, this is where you might need to stay today. If you want to add strength to that, you come forward, bend your elbows, press up, sit back. Come forward, bend your elbows, press up, come back. Keep going. Find a breath that works for you. Here's the important thing about this little mini chaturanga that we're doing. So you see, I've taken the yoga postures and I've changed them a little bit for where we are in our life right now. When you do that little mini chaturanga, or the bend of the elbows are going to come into your rib cage, not out to the side. So again, that shoulder placement is super important. The shoulder, if it's down where it's supposed to be, naturally the elbows will squeeze in. Okay, so readjust your shoulders if you need to. Elbows are going to come in towards your ribs and then press out. And then open your knees, sit back on your heels, and ease yourself closer to the ground, which for you today might be right here, or it might be a little bit lower. As you ease yourself closer to the ground, I want you to sort of ease those hips so that they're opening a little bit, but still maintain this pulling up and in of the lower abdominals to support the belly area. Okay, and again, depending on where you are, you might be all the way flat down on the ground, or you might be right up here. This is our modified child's pose today. Okay, now ease yourself back up over those hands. We're going to find some balance here on all fours. So nice and grounded in our hands, and also nice and grounded in our knees. Flex your feet so that your toes are facing down towards the ground. Ease your weight back onto your toes and see what happens in the middle of your body. When you do that, you should feel a shift of energy to really pull your belly up and in. Try to maintain that feeling. Then lift opposite arm, opposite leg, straight out, and then down. Other side, straight out, and down. You're switching from side to side. This is our bird dog. So depending on where you are, you might have a hard time with balance here, or it might feel easy to you. But a couple of things I want you to think about. As you're lifting that foot out behind you, make sure that you're not doing a hydrant. We're not turning out to the side. We're going straight back. Same thing with the shoulder. We're not out here somewhere. We're straight out in front. And depending on your shoulder flexibility, you might not be able to lift very high. What I don't want to see happen is for you to do this and compromise your positioning, trying to get your arm higher than it naturally wants to go today. Same thing with the leg. If your leg is lifting out behind you, I don't want it here where you're losing the stability of the back. I want the back lifted, so that might reduce your range of motion, and that's okay. How are we doing on bird dog? Okay, set everything down. I know I talk a lot. And let's do that modified child's pose again for a moment. Take the pressure off of the wrist. Now when we stand up, we're going to be careful about standing up so that the blood pressure can come back to our head. So tuck the toes under again and start to walk the feet toward the hands. We're in a folded position. Put your hands on your shin bones. Flatten out that back. Press your head forward and your hips back. Take a breath. Exhale and slowly stand up. Bring those arms up. How does that feel? Let's stay here for a moment. Let's practice arms in mountain pose. Breathe and reach. Exhale back. Breathe and reach. And exhale to mountain pose. Leave your right foot where it is. Take your left foot, cross it behind your right, and then put that foot back. So now we're practicing all kinds of warriors. Your body is going to be facing the side wall. Your front toe is facing the front of the room, and your back toe is facing out. Put your hands on your hips, pull the shoulders down and back, make the back body longer, tucking your booty under you, and pull up through the front body. Now we're just easing down and up through that front leg, but the knee's not going to go past your toes. Make sure that you can see that toe at all times. We're strengthening this leg and opening the hip flexors. The back foot is all the way on the floor, so don't lift the side of your foot when you come forward over that front foot. Both feet are down. Find that shoulder girdle. We're just going to add arms. Breathe in and up. Exhale, come to warrior two. Arms are just working with you here. Press the shoulders down, back away from your ears. Nice and strong. And stay in your warrior two. Then shift the hands back to the hips again. Now we're going to make a line from our head to our feet. So we're here and we're just going to here. I'm not going to change my side body. My side body's staying nice and long. I'm just shifting to right there. So don't fall. Keep your side bodies the same and nice and long. And then ease that hand to your thigh and reach the other arm. This is our modified side angle. As you come back up, just switch your arms. Side body nice and long. Long side angle and reverse. And long side angle. Make sure that you still got that knee bent and reverse. Now straighten both feet, turn them to the side. Hands on your hips. Fold into a flat back here. Exhale and come up. Let's try the other side. Turn the other foot. Bend and straighten through that knee. So we're starting just by loosening up the joints and finding our body positioning. Hips facing the side, tailbone tucked under, front body pulling up and in, shoulders down and back. Strong leg, foot all the way down. Breathe. Reach. Stay in that warrior two this time. Now the body, hands here. Shift. Come up. Shift. Go a little deeper. Hand goes to the thigh. Arm goes up. Breathe. Reverse. Exhale. Angle. Breathe. Reverse. Exhale. Angle. One more. Breathe. Reverse. Exhale. Angle. Come all the way to the front. Turn the toes forward. Fold from the hips. And come on up. Turn both toes out now. Press your knees back as you bend them and come on up. My hands are helping remind me to press my knees back because I'm wanting to open the hips here and stretch those adductors. So pressing back and coming up and pressing back and coming up. Let's do one more and let's stay there. Press and open. This is modified tempo. And it helps me, again, to have the hands here to remind me what I'm doing. I'm pressing my knees back and tucking my hips under me. And come on up, turn the toes forward and fold. How are we doing? Come all the way back up. Bring those feet right underneath you. Take a moment, breathe. Exhale. Breathe. And exhale. Let's do another from warrior feet. So that left foot goes behind you. Bring it back. This time our legs are staying straight. Front toe forward. Back toe to the side, and you might have to adjust as we go. We're going to do modified triangle. Okay, so triangle pose is usually, way down here. For us, for today, we're focused on what the muscles are doing. That's the most important part. I want you to take your right arm just out to the side, and I want you to go towards that right arm as the left hip goes back. Do you feel that? Pull this up and in, lengthen the back body, and we're stretching both hips. And come on up. Exhale. Inhale, pull this up and in. Exhale. Inhale. Yes? Let's switch feet. Just turn them the other way. Body is facing the front. Tuck your booty under you. Zip up right here. Left arm out. Go towards the left hand. Press the hip away. You're in between, again, two panes of glass. So you don't want to sit back. You're actually pressing the hips that way as you're reaching towards your arm this way. We're lengthening the side body and strengthening the transverse here. Isn't that wonderful? This is what the triangle is based on, and this is as far as we need to go today. those feet forward. Bring them all the way in. Breathe. Exhale. How was your yoga practice today? Do you need more like this? If so, I run special groups for people who are recovering from postpartum. And when I say recovering from postpartum, a lot of times that could be many years later, and some of the muscles have not recovered the way that maybe you expected them to. Because they don't necessarily just recover on their own. A lot of times we need to do intentional therapy to recover the muscles and to strengthen the body back after childbirth, even if it was 20 years ago. So if you need that, if this is what you need, if you need to be strengthening and lengthening, and you have issues such as pelvic floor or core issues, then we need to be working together every day. And I have groups that work with me every day. We do this for 30 minutes, only we also have days that are cardio, days that are resistance, days that are Pilates, days that are yoga. Every day we meet together. And you know what? Somebody could be in a different time zone, so they need to check in at a different time of day, and that's okay because I do them live, but they stay in the group. And they come in and they get their 30 minutes in, and they not only get a workout in, but the right way to work out with my individual therapies that help us recover the core area. Is that what you need? Then I need to hear from you. I'm at carriefit.com. There's forms there to fill out, or you can just send me an email, carrie@carriefit.com. I spell my first name like Carrie Fisher does, Princess Leia, and let me know what's going on with you. If I know what's going on with you, then I can give you a path to choose. It might be that group, it might be personal training, it might be that you just need to start with my book. And by the way, if you haven't gotten my book, it's called Flatten My Postpartum Belly, and it's available on Amazon, and I recommend that for everybody that's ever had a belly issue. That'd be everybody, right? Okay, thank you so much for hanging out with me for yoga today. Have a peaceful, wonderful day.